Sick is the newest film written by Kevin Williamson, the creator of Scream. Let's dive into this absolutely wild pandemic slasher. Due to the pandemic, Parker and her best friend decide to quarantine at the family lake house alone, or so they think. To start, we have John Himes directing Sick with a very straightforward visual style and story structure, but he manages to deliver important information to the audience through convincing and entertaining performances, as well as on-the-nose dialogue written once again by Kevin Williamson. As for the cast and the characters, this film has an extremely small cast as well as an extremely small body count, but that does not hold this film back from being an absolute blast. Gideon Adlon is fantastic as Parker, and all of the supporting cast plays their parts to a T. Also, the killer is hilarious, and it made for one of the most entertaining reveals that I've seen in a very long time. Moving on to the story for Sick, it is actually quite simple and only leans into the use of the pandemic only when it really absolutely needs to, until the final third act when everything is revealed, and it honestly is just kind of one big, obviously kind of meta joke. As you know, Kevin Williamson, he's known for being very cheeky, so to say, and it's another hit from Kevin Williamson. It's an absolute blast. I've said that again, and I really want this film to come out on Blu-ray like immediately. The opening scene as well as the killer's motive amp up the story's enjoyment due to the inclusion of the pandemic jokes or references. I thought it was going to, somewhat hinder the experience, but honestly, like I said before, they don't use it too much. It's there when it needs to be, and therefore comedic effect when it also needs to be. I really do enjoy this film, and I think any slasher fan will have some enjoyment with it at the very least. I mentioned earlier that the visuals are delivered in a very straightforward way, which they are, and it works phenomenally. Everything is clearly shot and well lit, the kills are bloody and brutal when it needs to be, and props to the stunt team for actually setting someone on fire. As for the score of the film, I would say it was the least noticeable in terms of original music. I was fully engaged into the story, and all of the diegetic sound worked phenomenally, but as for the non-diegetic sound, all of the original tense music, I guess you could say, that they created for this film, I guess I just wasn't really paying attention to it, but that might be a good thing. It just felt very visceral and real, so it did its thing and it worked. Moving on to the final thoughts for Sick, this is truly one of the more fun slashers I've seen in a very long time. X totally revitalized slashers for me, and I've just been having an absolute kick going back and watching tons of slasher films that I've never seen before. And honestly, this is an absolute blast. I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. I would say that this film reminded me of Bodies, Bodies, Bodies without being as on the nose as that film was. Sick delivered a twist that was hilarious and terrifyingly real, and this is once again confirmation that Kevin Williamson is one of the best horror writers out there. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm Carter. I'll see you later. Peace.